Alex Mercer paced the length of his modest quarters on the Galactic Military Academy's orbiting station. The walls, adorned with holographic vistas of distant galaxies, did little to calm his nerves. His roommate, a giant Gelthorian named Crix, watched him with a mix of curiosity and concern. "Why do you worry, Alex?" Crix's voice rumbled, his crystalline eyes reflecting the starlight. "Zorlak might be strong, but you have the mind of 10 of him." Alex stopped pacing and sighed. "It's not about strength, Crix. It's about proving that we, humans, belong here. That we can stand equal." Crix nodded, his heavy body shifting slightly on the bed. "And you will prove it. You always find a way." As Alex resumed his pacing, his communicator buzzed. It was Mia, a fellow human cadet, and his closest friend at the academy. "Alex, are you ready for tomorrow?" "Trying to be. Just going over some simulations." "You'll do fine. Remember, Zorlak's strength is his pride, but also his weakness. He's expecting a physical fight. Surprise him." Alex chuckled. "I plan to. I've got a trick or two up my sleeve." "Good. See you in the mess hall in 10? Wouldn't miss it for the galaxy." In the Academy's sprawling mess hall, filled with chatter and the clinking of utensils, Alex and Mia gathered their trays and joined a table with cadets from various species. The buzz was all about the upcoming duel. Many doubted the humans' chance against Zorlak, an elite from a warrior race known for their daunting physical capabilities. Zorlak, sitting across the room flanked by his admirers, caught Alex's gaze and smirked. The challenge was public, meant to be a spectacle, and Alex felt the weight of many eyes on him. "Let them watch," Mia whispered, nudging him. "Let them see what humans are capable of." The following morning, the atmosphere at the academy was electric. Cadets and instructors alike filled the amphitheater surrounding the advanced combat simulator. The arena was a marvel of technology, capable of recreating any environment, any scenario. Today, it was set to mimic the icy, high-gravity conditions of Zorlak's homeworld. Commandant Rex, a tall, imposing figure with shimmering scales, announced the rules. "This is a duel of honor. No lethal force, victory by surrender or incapacitation." Alex nodded, his gaze fixed on the simulator door as it hissed open. Zorlak entered first, his massive frame confident, almost dismissive. Alex followed, his steps steady, his mind racing through calculations and strategies. The environment of the simulator was brutal. The icy ground was slippery, the gravity pulling at Alex's limbs like chains. Zorlak moved with surprising grace, his body adapted to these harsh conditions. As the duel commenced, Zorlak charged, his movements a blur. Alex dodged, slipping slightly on the ice. He needed to be smart, to use his environment to his advantage. Remembering his discussion with Mia, Alex led Zorlak on a chase, weaving through ice formations. He noticed the way the ice reflected the simulated sunlight and got an idea. With precise movements, Alex adjusted the angle of several large ice sheets, creating a series of makeshift mirrors. Zorlak, growing frustrated, roared and lunged again. Alex dodged and ran towards the largest ice mirror. Just as Zorlak followed, Alex activated his wrist device, sending a beam of concentrated heat towards the ice. The beam reflected, fracturing into a dazzling grid of light that temporarily blinded Zorlak. Stunned and disoriented, Zorlak stumbled. Alex took the opportunity to trip him, using his own momentum against him. The giant alien fell heavily onto the ice, the impact echoed throughout the arena. Alex stood back, his breath visible in the cold air. "Do you yield?" he asked, his voice steady. Zorlak, lying on the ground, his chest heaving, nodded grudgingly. "I yield," he growled, respect mingling with surprise in his eyes. The crowd erupted in cheers and applause, a mixture of shock and admiration filling the air. Alex helped Zorlak to his feet, a gesture of sportsmanship that earned him nods of approval from the diverse audience. As they exited the simulator, Commandant Rex approached, a rare smile on his reptilian face. "Well done, Cadet Mercer. You have shown that ingenuity and intelligence are just as valuable as physical strength." Alex smiled, feeling the weight of his victory, not just for himself, but for all human cadets. He had proven that humanity deserved its place in the galaxy, not by mimicking the strength of others, but by showcasing their unique qualities. Back in his quarters, Alex collapsed onto his bed, exhausted but elated. Crix clapped him on the back. "What did I tell you? The mind of 10, Alex. The mind of 10. As the academy settled into the evening routines, Alex's thoughts drifted to Earth, to the family and friends far away who believed in him. He had done more than win a duel. He had shifted perceptions, opened minds. And for a cadet in a galaxy full of challenges and opportunities, that was a true victory. Alex Mercer adjusted the settings on his wrist console, his fingers moving with practiced ease. Around him, the low murmur of his fellow cadets discussing tactics and upcoming tests filled the Galactic Military Academy's library. Alex, however, was solely focused on tomorrow's duel against Zorlak, an event that could redefine his status and, by extension, that of all human cadets within the academy. "Working hard or hardly working?" The voice belonged to Mia, her tone light but her eyes sharp with concern as she sat down beside him. "Trying to find a way to not get crushed by a 2-ton alien in front of the entire academy," Alex replied, only half joking. Mia punched his shoulder lightly. "Remember, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. You've got more fight in you than anyone I know." Alex smiled, buoyed by her confidence. "I think I've got a strategy. Zorlak is expecting me to try and match him blow for blow, but I'm going to use his own strength against him. This simulation setup, it's his home turf, but physics works the same everywhere. Use the environment, right?" Mia leaned closer, lowering her voice. "What's the plan?" "I'll need to keep him moving, make him use up his energy. He's powerful but not endless. And when he's expecting me to be at my weakest, that's when I turn the tables." Mia nodded, impressed. "Sounds like you've got it all figured out. Just make sure you keep an eye on his left. His swings are heavy but slow." As the day of the duel approached, the buzz around the academy grew. Whispers filled the hallways, speculations made rounds, and bets were placed. The combat simulator was set up to mimic the harsh, icy conditions of Zorlak's home planet, complete with simulated gravity twice that of Earth's. It was an environment that put any non-native at a severe disadvantage, anyone but Zorlak. On the day of the duel, Alex entered the simulator, his heart pounding in his chest but his mind clear. The cold hit him first, seeping into his bones, making each breath a plume of frost. The gravity made his limbs feel like lead, each step a Herculean effort. Across the simulated icy plain, Zorlak paced like a predator, his confidence evident in every step. The duel began with the sounding of a klaxon. Zorlak wasted no time, charging with the ferocity of a wild beast. Alex dodged, slipped, and used his agility to stay just out of reach of Zorlak's powerful blows. Each near miss sent a jolt of adrenaline surging through him, each narrow escape a victory in itself. Alex led Zorlak on a chase, weaving through jagged ice formations that jutted from the simulated ground like the teeth of some enormous beast. He noted how Zorlak's breath grew heavier, his movements slightly slower. Alex's plan was working, he just needed to keep up the momentum. As they circled each other, Alex spotted his opportunity. A large ice column stood near Zorlak, its surface slick and unstable. Timing his movements with precision, Alex feigned a stumble, baiting Zorlak into delivering what he hoped would be a finishing blow. Zorlak took the bait, lunging forward with all his might. At the last second, Alex rolled away, and Zorlak's fist connected not with flesh but with the ice column. The impact was thunderous, the force of the blows sending cracks spiderwebbing through the ice. Seizing the moment, Alex kicked at the base of the column. The ice shattered, and the column toppled, crashing down onto Zorlak. The alien warrior was pinned, his limbs flailing as he tried to free himself. Alex stood back, panting from the exertion and the adrenaline. "Do you yield?" he called out, his voice echoing in the cold air. Zorlak struggled, then ceased his efforts, glaring up at Alex with a mixture of anger and respect. "I yield," he grunted, the words forced but clear. As the simulator's environment faded back to the neutral settings of the academy, the crowd that had gathered erupted into cheers. Cadets of all species applauded, some in disbelief, others in newfound admiration. Alex offered his hand to Zorlak, who took it after a moment's hesitation. They both stood, facing each other not as adversaries but as equals. This gesture, simple yet profound, spoke volumes to everyone watching. Alex had not only won the duel but had earned respect through ingenuity and resilience. As they exited the simulator, Mia was waiting for Alex with a wide grin. "That was incredible! You didn't just play the game, you changed the rules." Alex felt a surge of pride, not just in his victory but in proving that underestimating anyone, especially based on species, was a grave mistake. This duel wasn't just about survival or proving a point. It was about demonstrating that in the vast, diverse galaxy, intelligence and adaptability were just as powerful as strength and speed. Later, as the academy returned to its routine, Alex and Zorlak found themselves at the same table in the mess hall, no longer as rivals but as fellow warriors who had shared a moment of true competition. The respect between them was real and earned, a testament to the academy's purpose of bringing together the galaxy's best, not just to compete, but to learn from one another. The duel had concluded with an unexpected but decisive victory for Alex Mercer. As the combat simulator faded back into the nondescript training room of the Galactic Military Academy, the crowd of cadets and faculty members buzzed with excitement and disbelief. Alex and Zorlak, now standing side by side, were the focal point of everyone's attention. Commandant Rex, a figure both revered and feared for his impartiality and strict adherence to the Academy's codes, stepped forward. His voice boomed through the amphitheater. "Cadet Mercer, your performance today has demonstrated not only physical prowess but also exceptional strategic thinking." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of every eye upon him. "Thank you, Commandant. I believe every species has its strengths, and today was about finding a way to align my strengths against formidable odds." Zorlak, still recovering from the shock of defeat, added gruffly, "Human cleverness is most unexpected. I underestimated Cadet Mercer, to my own detriment." The Commandant turned his gaze upon Zorlak. "And you, Cadet Zorlak, have shown great honor in acknowledging your defeat. This academy thrives on both competition and humility." As the crowd began to disperse, Mia approached Alex, a wide smile plastered on her face. "You did it, Alex. You really shook things up today." Alex, while removing his gear, replied, "It was a close one. Zorlak's strength is incredible. Without the environmental play, I wouldn't have stood a chance." Mia punched his shoulder lightly. "But you did and you won. That's what matters. You used your head, and that's always been your strongest muscle." Their conversation was interrupted by a group of alien cadets from various species, who approached with a mix of curiosity and newfound respect. A lanky, blue-skinned Nilari, known for their intellectual prowess, extended a hand. "Cadet Mercer, your strategy has been the subject of much discussion among my cohort. We are impressed by your adaptability and wish to invite you to a symposium on interspecies tactics. We believe your insights would be invaluable." Alex accepted the handshake, surprised but honored. "I'd be delighted to join. Thank you for the opportunity." As the evening approached, Alex found himself reflecting on the day's events in the Academy's vast, window-lined observatory, looking out at the starry expanse. The duel had not only tested his physical limits, but had also challenged his mental acumen. He realized that the victory was more than just a personal achievement. It was a testament to human potential and adaptability in a galaxy where humanity was still fighting for respect. Zorlak joined him, his heavy steps echoing in the quiet space. "Mercer," he began, his voice devoid of the earlier hostility, "I have been thinking about our duel. Your victory was no fluke. I have much to learn about human tactics." Alex turned to face him, recognizing the effort it took for Zorlak to make such an admission. "And I have much to learn from you as well. Your strength, how you use it, it's something that I could never replicate. Perhaps we could train together? I could learn more about physical tactics while you could gain insight into different strategies. Agreed. Zorlak nodded, a small smile breaking through his usual stoicism. It is a deal, Mercer. It seems I will be learning human humility as well. Their newfound camaraderie was a perfect example of the Academy's ultimate goal, to foster understanding and cooperation among the galaxy's diverse species. As they walked back toward the main complex, Alex felt a sense of fulfillment. The duel had started as a challenge to his worth but ended as a bridge between cultures, a narrative he hadn't anticipated but was immensely proud of. Back in his quarters, as he prepared for a well-earned rest, Alex received messages from cadets across the Academy, human and non-human alike, expressing their admiration and asking for advice and collaboration. It was overwhelming, but it reinforced the impact of his victory. That night, as Alex lay in his bunk, the silence enveloping him, his thoughts drifted to Earth. He imagined his family, his friends, and the billions of humans who were unaware of his achievements, but would benefit from the doors he was opening. He was not just a cadet anymore. He was a pioneer, shaping the future of humanity's place in the cosmos. The responsibility was immense, but so were the opportunities. As sleep claimed him, Alex Mercer dreamt of a galaxy where humanity was not just accepted but celebrated for its unique contributions to the universal tapestry. The day following the duel, Alex Mercer felt the shift in the air as he walked through the corridors of the Galactic Military Academy. Whispers followed him, not of doubt or skepticism, but of respect and a bit of awe. He had not only won against an elite cadet from a warrior race but had done so using his intellect and strategic thinking, underscoring the unique strengths humanity brought to the interstellar community. As he approached the Academy's main hall, he noticed a group of younger human cadets gathered around a holographic screen displaying a replay of the duel. They looked up as he approached, their eyes wide with admiration. "Cadet Mercer!" one of them called out, a young woman barely out of her teens. "That move with the ice column, how did you come up with that?" Alex smiled, remembering his own days as a bewildered freshman, looking up to the upperclassmen. "It was all about understanding my opponent and the environment. Zorlak was stronger, so I couldn't go head-to-head with him. I had to make the environment an ally." The cadets nodded, hanging on his every word. Would you be willing to show us some techniques? Maybe hold a workshop?" Another hopeful voice chimed in. "Sure," Alex agreed, surprised by his own readiness. "Let's set something up for this weekend. I think we can all benefit from sharing what we know, right?" Cheers erupted from the group, their enthusiasm infectious. As they dispersed, Mia joined Alex, a teasing grin on her face. "Look at you, the new celebrity instructor." Alex chuckled, but the weight of his new role was not lost on him. "Feels strange, doesn't it? Yesterday, I was just another cadet." "You were never just anything, Alex," Mia replied, her tone earnest. "You've always been a leader, even if you didn't see it. Now everyone else sees it too." Their conversation was cut short as Commandant Trex approached. His towering figure was usually enough to silence any room, but today he wore a softer expression. "Cadet Mercer, your duel has sparked much discussion among the faculty and cadets alike. It's clear that you have a keen understanding of tactical applications under diverse conditions. The Academy would like to record your strategies and tactics for our training modules." Alex felt a surge of pride. "I'd be honored, Commandant. I think it's important for all of us to learn from each other's strengths." "Indeed," Tvrex agreed. "Your approach could revolutionize how we train cadets in environmental adaptability. You have our full support." The rest of the day was a blur for Alex as he attended classes and meetings, his mind racing with ideas for the workshop and his new responsibilities as a contributor to the Academy's curriculum. By the time he returned to his quarters that evening, a message from Zorlak awaited him. "Mercer, I have reflected on our encounter. You have opened my eyes to possibilities I had disregarded. Perhaps, in addition to the training you plan with the human cadets, I could offer some instruction on Kravakian strength techniques. Together, we could provide a more balanced perspective." Alex replied immediately, thrilled at the opportunity to collaborate. That sounds like a perfect balance, Zorlak. Let's show the Academy what a true partnership looks like. As he lay in bed that night, Alex thought about the future. He had come to the Academy as a cadet with something to prove, not just to himself but to the galaxy. Now, he was becoming a symbol of what humanity could offer, not through dominance but through unity and intellect. His thoughts drifted to his family back on Earth, his friends who were rooting for him. They were far away, yet tonight, the stars didn't seem so distant. In the weeks that followed, Alex and Zorlak's workshops became a highlight at the Academy, attended by cadets and instructors from various species. Each session was an exchange of ideas, techniques, and mutual respect. Alex often stood before his peers, not just teaching, but learning alongside them, his journey a testament to the Academy's ethos of growth and collaboration. The changes at the Academy were subtle but significant. Training modules were updated, and strategies revised to incorporate a broader spectrum of tactics and perspectives. Alex's influence was evident, his ideas reshaping the curriculum in ways that emphasized adaptability and innovation. As the semester drew to a close, Alex watched a new batch of cadets maneuver through the combat simulator, their movements a blend of the various techniques and strategies he had helped introduce. He realized then that his legacy at the Academy would be defined not by a single duel, but by the enduring impact of his ideas and the bridges he had built between worlds. The stars shone brightly as Alex stood once more in the observatory, his eyes not just on the vastness of space but on the possibilities that lay ahead. Humanity's place in the cosmos was evolving, and he was at the forefront of that change. The journey was far from over, but for Cadet Alex Mercer, it was just another step in the endless dance of the galaxies, each turn a new discovery, each step a new challenge.